To try and stop support from ending, the charity has launched the Imara Impact Fund to raise the cash needed. And CEO Kath Wakeman, OBE, joins me now. Kath, thank you so much for joining us today. So tell us a little bit more about Imara and the work that you do.
Yeah, it's a charity. We were founded in 2010 and we recognised that there was an enormous gap for children and young people affected by child sexual abuse. At that point, we've increasingly started to work with children affected by domestic abuse as well. And the two main approaches that we bring to our, well, three actually, the approaches that we bring to the work are, we have a team of creative therapists, so art therapists, drama therapists, dance and movement therapists, and music therapists, along with a play therapist and a couple of other trauma therapists. And then we also deliver the children and young persons independent sexual violence advisor service. So those are practitioners who support children through the criminal justice process. So supporting them through police investigation, helping them understand kind of what's going on, who's making decisions and how are those decisions being made, supporting them at court. So we've attended, a lot of court hearings this year because there's been a lot of delays through COVID and then various adjournments, so there's been a bit of a flurry of court hearings. And then we also support and have developed alongside a participation group, so that's young people who've had experience of the service and are now working alongside us all to help us develop and design the service, making sure that we really understand the needs of children and young people from their perspective.
I mean, it's an incredible sounding charity. Just those numbers that we were reading earlier, you've helped more than 2,200 children and young people and more than 1,500 families across Nottingham City and Nottinghamshire. How vital is a service like yours?
Well, having worked in this field for the last 20 years, I've understood how vital it is, because when there are gaps and there is no provision, children and families find it doesn't stop sexual abuse happening, it doesn't stop domestic abuse happening, but what it means is that children, young people and families are left trying to find some support, trying to find help, trying to navigate through. And in my experience, if families aren't supported and children and young people aren't supported at that point, they get stuck in the trauma, which means that they maybe don't sleep, they maybe find going to school really tricky, their friendships maybe deteriorate, wider family members, and there's often sort of ruptures and breakups within a family. A high number of referrals are for children affected by abuse that's happened within the family, some of it by other young people. So it's really crucial that they are helped to navigate through, and also done in that support given in a very holistic way, because although there will be lots of connections between the impact of the abuse, actually for each child it's a very unique experience. It depends on their age, it depends on how long it's going on, it depends what sort of support they've got around them. And I think my view is that children who've been affected by that sort of relational abuse, which has such a profound impact on their bodies, on their brains, on their ability to get on with their day-to-day life and enjoy life and achieve their potential. My view is they deserve the very best quality service that we can provide. And we know that at a minimum, therapy is unlikely to have much chance of doing more than perhaps making contact and beginning to build a relationship if it isn't longer than kind of 10 sessions, which tends to be what the statutory provision is. So the Impact Fund is really crucial around making sure that children have an opportunity to have at least 20, 24 sessions.
So let's talk about this Impact Fund, because you need to raise £250,000 a year to keep going. So tell us about the Impact Fund.
Well, it feels like quite a bold vision and a bold ambition to reach 250,000. But what we know and recognise is that increasingly statutory funding either provides a limited amount of time of therapy, and our therapists are trained to deliver much longer term therapy that really allows the child to be stable, sort of feel stable and safe before they begin to process the trauma, and then they can move forward to begin to mourn the losses, all the grief that there is around things that they've perhaps missed out on through their childhood, but also to achieve.
And there's so much more we could talk about this. So you're an incredible charity, but if people do want to find out more and support the charity, how can they do that?
Well, go to our website, www.imara.org.uk. There's lots of opportunities on the website to donate. We're really keen to get corporate partners involved because we appreciate that brings in unrestricted income for us. And you can also help us fundraise, join events, volunteer for us. So lots of ways that people can help.
Kath, thank you so much for coming in and sharing that with us today.
Thanks for
Appreciate
your
it.
time.